My name is Artem Lavrov, and everything you're about to hear really happened to me. At least that's what I tell myself when the memories feel too sharp to be dreams and too impossible to be real. I know how stories like this sound, like something from a late-night radio show or a forgotten forum thread, but I'm not telling this to convince you. I'm telling it because memories fade, and I'm afraid that if I don't put this somewhere outside my own mind, it will slowly dissolve, like footprints in snow after sunrise. And if that happens, then whatever they showed me will disappear too. August 12th, 2013. I was 23 years old, working as a technician at a small weather station near a rural area in Eastern Europe. It wasn't the kind of place people imagine when they think of scientific facilities. No huge dishes, no high-tech labs, just a modest concrete building on a low hill surrounded by endless fields that turned golden in summer and gray in winter. A thin forest line stretched along the horizon like a dark border between land and sky. During the day it felt peaceful, almost forgotten by the world. At night it felt like standing on the edge of something vast and unknowable. My job was simple: check sensors, calibrate equipment, log atmospheric pressure, humidity, wind speeds, temperature layers. Routine work. Predictable work. The kind of job where hours pass unnoticed, marked only by the soft ticking of instruments and the faint hum of electrical systems behind the walls. Most nights I worked alone. I didn't mind. There's a strange comfort in solitude when the world is quiet enough that you can hear your own thoughts clearly. But that night changed the way I understand silence. I remember the exact moment everything shifted. The digital clock on the wall read 2:17 a.m. I remember because I had just stretched in my chair and glanced at it, thinking about making another cup of coffee. Outside, the sky was perfectly clear. No clouds, no wind, just an endless field of stars, sharp and bright like frozen sparks scattered across black glass. Ideal conditions for atmospheric observation. Inside, the station felt half asleep. The fluorescent lights buzzed softly overhead. The monitors cast a pale glow across the desk. I was watching the data stream scroll across the screen when I noticed something wrong. A sudden spike. At first, I assumed it was a sensor glitch. It happens. Equipment ages, wires loosen, software misreads signals. But this wasn't small. The temperature reading in the upper atmosphere jumped sharply, a perfectly straight vertical line on the graph. That doesn't happen in nature. Temperature changes gradually, carried by air currents and pressure systems. Not like this. Not instantly. I checked another sensor. Same reading. Then another. All of them. My chest tightened with a mix of curiosity and unease. It was as if something had entered the atmosphere without appearing on radar. I told myself there must be a logical explanation. There always is. Still, I grabbed my jacket and stepped outside, and that's when I saw it. Hovering silently above the tree line was something I couldn't explain. Not a plane, not a helicopter, not a drone. It made no sound at all, not even the faint hum you'd expect from any machine. It emitted a soft blue glow, not like a spotlight, but like the material itself was alive with light. The air around it looked distorted, like heat waves shimmering above hot asphalt. But the night air was cold against my skin. It was perfectly circular, smooth, maybe 20 meters across, too symmetrical to be natural, too silent to be mechanical. My first thought was military, some experimental craft I wasn't supposed to see, but deep down I already knew. This wasn't human. I felt pressure building in my ears, like descending too fast in an airplane. Then came a vibration, not in the ground beneath my feet, but inside my head. It felt like my thoughts were being gently shaken loose, and then I heard it. Not through my ears, through my mind. Do not be afraid. My muscles stopped responding, not frozen with fear, simply paused. I dropped to my knees as the blue light intensified, forming shifting patterns like liquid geometry. A silhouette emerged. Then a figure stepped forward, as if condensing from light itself. Tall, thin, long limbs moving with unnatural smoothness. Skin pale gray, almost translucent, like fog lit from within. large black eyes reflecting everything, including me. But strangely, I felt calm, like standing in the presence of something vast yet gentle. "We have been observing you," the voice said inside my mind. I tried to speak, but only thoughts came. "Why me?" The response was immediate. "You are capable of doubt." The words carried more meaning than language: curiosity, openness, the ability to question reality instead of clinging to certainty. They said humanity had been observed for longer than our recorded history, civilizations rising and falling like tides, moments of brilliance followed by moments of destruction. Images flooded my mind, ancient skies filled with strange lights, forgotten encounters hidden in myths and legends. They had always been here, watching, waiting. The being called itself Ilar, not spoken, but understood, like grasping the meaning of a concept rather than hearing a name. They described themselves as guardians of balance, not creators, not rulers, observers who intervene only when necessary to maintain equilibrium. Earth, they explained, is rare, a place where consciousness evolves with an unusual mix of aggression, creativity, empathy, and unpredictability, a volatile combination. But something shifted in 2013. Humanity became globally interconnected in a way never seen before. Information began moving faster than emotional adaptation. The planet started generating chaotic informational energy, waves of fear, belief, outrage, and reaction spreading instantly across billions of minds. Then Eiler showed me a date, March 17th, 2026. The numbers burned into my mind like they were carved into memory itself. If the chaos reached a critical level, a collapse would occur. Not physical, perceptual, mass psychological instability, a breakdown of shared reality, humans losing trust not only in each other, but in truth itself. They gave me a choice. They could intervene, stabilizing global consciousness, reducing emotional extremes, guiding humanity toward long-term peace. But it would slow natural evolution, or they could leave and allow humanity to face the chaos alone. They showed me two futures, one quiet and controlled, the other chaotic but alive. Eiler asked, "Which path is worthy?" My answer came from somewhere deeper than thought. "We must face it ourselves." Ekkum. "You will be a witness," they said. The light intensified, and then everything vanished. The sky empty again. My co-workers found me outside at sunrise, unconscious on the grass. I said it was pressure imbalance, but the dreams never stopped. Years passed. Life moved on. Jobs, cities, relationships. But sometimes electronic glitch around me. Sometimes I wake at exactly 2:17 a.m. Sometimes I feel watched, not in a threatening way, but like a quiet presence just beyond perception. Today is February 16th, 2026. The world feels faster now, more reactive. People argue instantly, trust less. Information spreads faster than understanding. Sometimes it feels like reality itself is fragmenting, like everyone is living in slightly different versions of the same world. I don't know if what happened was real, but if something does happen, you'll know we were warned. At night, I still look at the sky, and sometimes at the edge of thought, I feel a faint vibration, and a single idea forms quietly in my mind. We always were,